last week in Times Square? Was it
Yes,
last week?
2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago now, wow, oh gosh. 2 weeks ago, all right, Joe? Take it from here.
Thank you, Vicki.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dennis, my ex-boss. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, all the members of the... Thank you, all the members of the Whitestone Republican Club. I'm a Brooklyn boy, born, bred, still based there. On the way here, we passed my grandparents' cemetery, and it's interesting. They were staunch, from the moment they became legal citizens, they were staunch Democrats their whole lives. But if they knew what was going on in the party today, if they knew about the anti-Americanism and all the hatred, they would be spinning in their graves.
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
I also have some nicer ties to this area. My first job out of college, I spent a lot of time here pounding the pavement and trying to drum up votes for a man I desperately wanted to be the next mayor of New York City. We lost that election, but we won 4 years later, and Rudy Giuliani took City Hall. In large part, thanks to the voters in solid middle-class neighborhoods like this one. Thank you. But I'm not here to talk about partisan politics tonight. I'm here to talk to you as one American to another. And to quote Tom Hanks in Apollo 13, America, we have a problem.
Oh, yes.
Luckily, we know the source of the problem. We also know its name, Ilhan Omar.
Yep.
Why?
Right, exactly, I get to prove.
Why is she a problem? Why is she a problem? For not even 6 months in Congress, she's been making some of the worst statements in political history. She's put down America's allies. She's made hateful statements about Americans of Jewish descent. She talks about 9/11, the worst tragedy, the worst terrorist act in our history, as if it's a joke. But all those things we could forgive. All those things we could forget is just a dumb idiot. But then she did something else that raises her to a whole other level. She publicly, openly denounced America's military. She openly denounced her hatred for American troops. Now you might know, you remember the movie Black Hawk Down, a true story about the American soldiers who went to Mogadishu to save her countrymen, to save the kids who were being slaughtered by the warlords in her country. Somehow, in this woman's mind, she twisted it around to make our guys sound like the villains, like the terrorists, not the warlords in her country. Now again, none of this would be a problem if she were a private citizen. But she's not a private citizen.
I know.
She's a U.S. Congresswoman. And more than that, she sits on the powerful Foreign Affairs Committee of the U.S. Congress, where she has clearance. She has access to the nation's secrets. This is a problem. This is a problem.
Huge problem.
I can tell you, let's make one thing clear. If a politician openly hates the military, they must not be allowed to serve on that committee, and they must not be allowed to have clearance, national security clearance. This is not some kind of joke anymore. This is a national security crisis waiting to happen. And I can't believe Nancy Pelosi, I don't know what's in that woman's mind.
Nothing.
She's
Communism.
Nancy Pelosi, she thinks it's still
Ilhan
Bush's
Omar should have
president.
been removed months ago. I'm not saying that she should be kicked out of office. I mean, that's between her and her constituents. But she cannot serve on that committee, and we can't wait till next year for that to happen. So what do we do about this problem? So I started an organization a few months ago with the very graceful name, the Coalition to Get Ilhan Omar Off the Foreign Affairs Committee.
Straight to the point.
Let there be no ambiguity about what that means.
You kept that brief.
Yes, but it's called IlhanMustGo.org for short. Ilhan Must Go. You can also find us on Twitter and Facebook under that name, hashtag Ilhan Must Go. So, since we started, we got off to a pretty quick start. As Vicki mentioned, we had a rally about a month ago in Times Square. We had some amazing speakers, got 300 or 400 people there,
Nice.
got coverage in the Daily Wire, Fox News, even in international, we got into the Jerusalem Post. It's a
Yay.
very good
Good.
start.
Good.
But it's only a start. She's still on that committee, and I've made it my personal mission to do everything in my power legally as a citizen of this country to make sure she's off that committee by December 31st of this year. Let me tell you what's next. We're trying to do this strategically and put our limited resources in the right places. I'm in Brooklyn. My congressman is Max Rose. His district includes all of Staten Island and some of the more conservative parts of Brooklyn. Max Rose, a Democrat, a war hero. He got a Purple Heart in Afghanistan.
Right there.
Oh, Jewish, well, yes, he's Jewish, member of the tribe. Good guy, decent guy. But he's had a failure of nerve since he's become part of the Nancy Pelosi sausage machine. When all this nonsense about Ilhan Omar first came to light, his constituents in in the district said, well, what about this anti-Semitism, Max? What are you going to do? And he apologized for not standing up strongly enough, and he denounced all her anti-Semitism. And then they asked him, well, Max, what about her being on the Foreign Affairs Committee? And then he said, well, she's my friend. I don't want to take her off the committee. I hate the sinner. I hate the sin, but I love the sinner. Not good enough. Not good enough. So, what we're going to do on June
one of
23rd,
these.
and I hope I can get a bunch of you out to make that long schlep out to Brooklyn. We're going to have a demonstration in front of his office on June 23rd. If you guys contact me by email or phone or whatever, I'll give you all the information. I hope to bring you out there. Next month, we're going to come here. You've heard of AOC, I guess.
Yes.
Good luck. Well, we're with you, man. AOC has to be held accountable for this nonsense too.
Yes.
She's one of Ilhan Omar's biggest supporters.
Yep.
She
one and the
diminishes every anti-Semitic statement, every foul anti-American statement out of that woman's mouth, and we need to embarrass AOC as best we can.
Big time.
And we'll do that too.
She filed 1099. She's doing a good job herself.
Sorry?
Did she file 1099 yet?
Who, AOC or Ilhan Omar? Oh, because Ilhan has a lot of tax problems, so I don't know about AOC yet.
AOC's been bartending?
So let me leave you with a sobering thought. The Roman Empire, the cradle of our civilization. Hundreds of years, Rome was the world. But then it got a little soft, and unchecked invasions and the refusal of the newcomers to assimilate took its toll. Until finally, on a very warm Italian night, end of summer, 476 AD, the last Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, he goes to sleep, gets up the next day like any other day, except now his new German overlords are standing over him and saying, dude, we don't need you anymore. They rip his crown off his head and they kick him out the palace. The Roman Empire was dead. Let us never get so arrogant that we think that can't happen to us here.
Right.
It's happening.
As Americans, we need to do better, and we need to start by getting that woman off the committee
Yes.
before it's too late. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. God bless you. Questions?
What about Rashida Tlaib? She's no better.
Well,
Anybody ever asked himself?
Right, exactly.
This is for whatever.
Palestinian flag?
Yeah.
Fakistinians.
Who's the one who said what they said at the, when she won the race? I called it.
Oh.
Rashida. She said about the president.
well, I think, look, we have to, since we have limited resources and limited time, we have to focus on one target at a time. Ilhan Omar, now the woman you mentioned, Rashida Tlaib, AOC, they're part of what I call the AC, the Anti-American Caucus. So if one of them falls, if we can push one of them out of power, this will send a signal. Look, most Americans are like you, they're like us. They're patriotic Americans, Democrats and Republicans. They don't want this nonsense. But we got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
If we can really make a dent in this woman and we get the national press coverage to go along with it, it will send a signal, a beacon across the country. And then we can take on the others.
Yes.
Joe, what time is the rally on the 23rd starting?
It's going to be in late morning. I don't have all the details yet, but I will get those for you.
11ish?
Probably, yeah, around 11ish.
What day of the week is that?
It's a Sunday.
Oh,
It's gonna be a
goody.
I hear it's gonna be a beautiful day, so a nice day to be in nice day to come to Bay Ridge.
Oh, is that where you're doing it?
Yeah, Bay Ridge, that's where Max Rose's new district office is.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, we need to get you there. And then the following month, we'll get people out here. No, but we might be able to arrange that. We've got some people with money that are contributing, so maybe we can get you a nice, I'm not saying it's gonna be like a first-class luxurious bus, but we might be able to get you something. We might be able to get you something. Yes.
So, are you gonna tell us the location, or do we go somewhere to look for the location?
Ah, good question.
Exact location.
So I don't have his location is in Bay, his office is in Bay Ridge. It's on 3rd Avenue around 83rd or 84th Street. I will have to get you the exact address. So write me or contact me through my.
Can the club send it out?
What?
You can send it to Vicky and the club can send it
Robert will
out.
distribute the information.
Thank you, Nicole.
But keep, circle the 23rd on your calendars. Sir, in the back.
Yes, Phil.
I'm with the Rockaway Republican Club. I'd love you to come and speak at our meetings.
Be my pleasure.
In July and August, so maybe we should organize. I went to your rally in Manhattan, and I thought it was absolutely great. I can't stress this enough, everybody in this room. Vicky is not the only person that is trying to organize. I encourage everyone in this room, if you come from a far distance, you've got to organize another local Republican club so that we can multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. And it's the same thing for you, Mr. Diamond. I think that your cause,
Joe.
your cause is the way to go, because we have to defend democracy. The United States and Israel have been allies for a very long time, and we got to keep that and protect our way of life. Thank you so much, and we'd love to see you in Rockaway.
Thank you.
Yeah, Joe, I'd just like to mention also too, where Joe had the rally, Mega Queens was out there too.
Yes, we were.
We were out there supporting him, and the funniest thing about that rally was there were a lot of Jewish people there, but also across the street, counter-protesting. Were these Hasidic Jews?
Yeah, they're like pseudo Jews.
Natari Karta, probably.
Yeah, they're a wacky cult that wants to wipe out Israel. I'll tell you a funny story about that. Like, I'm Jewish.
For the other side, against their own people.
I'll tell you a funny
Yeah,
story.
we
My
deal
friend
with them
calls me
every
up,
year at the
and he's like,
parade.
Joe, wow, 300 Jews in Manhattan. Who would have thought? I'm like, yeah, who would have thought we'd get that many Jews in New York? I say that as a
Joe, I just want to tell you that it's a fringe minority in the Hasidic community.
Oh, yeah.
They're very small, and they don't account for the entire Hasidic community at all.
No, not at all.
No,
Yes,
no,
They're
no,
small.
no.
They number under 50 people.
And
They're a joke.
they're a traveling show. They're a traveling circus. All they do is come out to get
giving them
publicity.
media time.
Yeah.
CNN is giving them media time. Iran paid for their leaders to fly to Iran, and they're American citizens, to fly to Iran, and stand together with Palestinians and Iranians.
Fake
Guys, let me draw your attention to something. Let me draw your attention to something I think is a more dire
it's like a
threat.
Jewish
A
version
few
of
months
that.
ago, you maybe remember this. Chelsea Clinton went to speak at a vigil for the victims of the New Zealand massacre, and 2 women attacked her. 2 women attacked her, not because they were conservative or anything. They attacked her as an Islamophobe.
Yeah.
Chelsea Clinton, whatever you think about her parents, she's probably the least Islamophobic person on the earth. But these 2 creatures harassed her. They they were pushing a camera in her face. They were like beating their drums. These 2 young women, they're just scream queens now. They're just screeching. But if we're not careful, you know about Antifa, right?
They are Antifa.
These 2
They
women,
write
the
for
next-
BuzzFeed.
We're seeing this on campuses now. These young people, it's not just going to be screaming. It's going to be bricks. It's going to be bats.
It's already
It's going to
bricks.
be guns, even though they say
It's
they hate
already
the Second
bats.
Amendment. This is where we need to go.
Making a rally this weekend in the city. They announced it. They said they're going to announce it a day beforehand. But if you check their website, you'll find out where their location is. I don't recommend going. It's probably going to be Antifa. But MoveOn.org is trying to make inroads here, yeah, that's right.
Well, they can make inroads here
Well,
very
we get rid of
easily.
the Magnificent Seven that's on Wall Street, who's funding these people first.
Who's that? I'm not sure who that
The
is.
big guns who run Wall Street. Soros and all that.
Because we can't.
If you have a plan, I'm all ears, but I think, unless you have some good legal evidence or something, that you're not going anywhere that fast. But by the way, as you know, AOC's getting ready to run against Schumer. Good for her. But it means that she now must be held to even greater account. She wants to be a national leader in the Senate. She has to come out and say how she feels about this anti-Americanism, about this anti-Semitism, about this effort to downgrade our military.
She'd never win the state. Upstate is extremely conservative.
Yeah, we can never say never anymore. No.
That's true.
Yes,
That's
it
true.
is.
That's true.
I'm looking at his address, Max Rose, and it only shows two, the Washington DC and Staten Island office.
Yeah, his Bay Ridge office, it's new. He hasn't yet posted it yet, but it is open, and he shares it with
Nicole?
Brennan, or is it not with Nicole, with
Justin
Brennan?
Brennan.
Yeah, but he's up and running.
I'm
That's-
saying Nicole with Matt.
Nicole's the office, like.
Sir, in the back?
I have one question and a comment. My question is for everyone, and if you don't mind participating in my little poll here, okay? It's a very, very brief question, and all you have to do is listen. How many of you here can define the difference between a religion and a theocracy? Raise your hand. You can just.
Philip, you should be able to.
Between a religion and theocracies, by the way, are illegal.
The question is, how many people here can define the difference between a religion and a theocracy?
Theocracies are illegal. Islam is a theocracy. And until all Americans know that, you'll never solve the problem. So we have to educate people. I have a brochure here. I'm going to redo it.
Well, we didn't get one, raise your hand, I'll give it to you.
So if you can take a look at that, if you have any questions, you can talk.
One more question, guys?
One more question, anybody?
Anyone else?
This gentleman right here. You have a question?
No, the comments that I want to make is that, you gave a great talk, and I definitely appreciate that. But a couple of things that you brought up about we have the national media behind us and so forth. That's not happening. No.
Right.
There's so much communism involved in it. That's just not happening. I suppose it's.
How you doing, Lori?
Yeah, thank you.
I agree with you. It's not easily done, but we did get on the Fox News. We got into some of the other papers. One of our secret weapons, he's not so secret, Niger Innes, you know the conservative civil rights leader? Niger's one of my best friends, and he's one of our leaders, one of the board. He's helping us get into places we couldn't otherwise get, including some very good people in the White House.
But the other thing is going to say,
Good.
the big problem, I've been following this for a long time, and the big problem with New York State and New York City is that the National Republican Party has given up this state and given up the city. In the sense that no matter who is there, and I think Vicky can vouch for this, whatever,
Yes.
they can put you up as a candidate, they give you absolutely no support.
Correct.
Well, I think that's why, I think with Ilhan Omar, it transcends politics. She's an American tragedy, by way of Somalia. She, and every day new scandals are coming out against her. Her home paper, the Minnesota Star Tribune, wrote an editorial today, and that's normally a liberal paper, I think. They wrote an editorial denouncing her today. Her time is coming. We need to be there
They're
to
rhinos.
expedite.
They're Democrats. Subversive.
Just the one more statement that I got is this. When you talk about, getting to the kids and so forth. Now, I live in Bayside, but I belong to the VFW post. I mean, I'm a department service officer for the Disabled American Veterans. I belong to the VFW post.
your
I'm
buddy.
his little brother.
There you go.
But the other thing is this, what we started in the VFW program in Port Washington was every year, we get a hold of Webber Middle School. And one of the teachers had gotten a hold of us, whatever, and we do like a round robin as far as, teaching the kids, and these kids absorb everything. And we give them the truth on everything. You saw us, in my particular case, the Vietnam War and so
We need more of that.
they're under the impression that we lost. I said, no, we didn't lose. The
Right.
soldiers did not lose.
That's
We won
right.
85 to 90% of the battle.
That's right.
That's not losing the war.
That's right.
So we got to get it back.
You're damn
but
right you
this is
did.
back.
Yes.
But the thing is, the kids are getting this, and we're starting at the 6th grade level here, so eventually they get it. You don't know how many times, because they wear the hat all the time and so forth. And you don't know how many times I've had kids come up to me, even sitting in a restaurant, and they'll just
Shake
say,
your hand.
thank you for your service.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it should
Getting
be.
there, so I'm-
Yes.
It's gotta get there better, but it's getting there.
Good.
But the biggest thing is they said, the Republican Party, National Republican Party has given up on us, and I think that's a disgrace.
It is.
Well,
I wanna.
Okay, I just said one thing to that. Look, we've both seen a lot of changes in both parties in recent years. Thank God we have a strong leader in the White House, and he's. Having said that, though, I think the parties are in a state of rapid transformation. The Democratic Party is, we see the meltdown much quicker there. They're becoming some kind of radical socialist, Marxist, anti-American, I don't know what it is, but it's not good for the country, and we all have to be vigilant against that, and that's what we're starting to do today.
Yes.
Freaking communists.
Go ahead, Ruth.
So,
Sorry.
just to expound further on that thought, a few months ago, I wrote an op-ed that was published in the Washington Times on this very topic. So you have the Senate, the National Senate committees and the National Congressional committees. You get the mailers all the time, give us money, give us money, give us money. So all the middle-class people in our district, in the Bronx and Queens, give them money. But that money is never used here. It goes to Georgia and Utah and all these other places.
Exactly correct.
They extract our money and leave our
Because
candidates.
they give up on us. They gave
Right.
up on us.
So basically, we're paying for other communities to get Republican leadership while we're twisting slowly in the wind here.
That's right.
Okay?
That's
So
true.
this is what I would like everybody to do.
Stop giving them
I
money
would
and start
like-
our own.
yes, thank you. Stop giving money to the national groups and keep it local.
Local.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Can I respond to that?
Otherwise, we will never
Okay.
have Republican
Let me-
representations here.
Folks,
Ever.
folks, I'm sorry, this may be unpopular, I've got to respond to that. You guys want to take back the Senate?
Yeah.
Do you want to keep control of the House?
Yeah.
It's rational. So, what?
It's the other way around.
Get it back.
We want to keep control of the Senate and take back that.
Okay.
Basically, we want to get
Whatever,
it.
you know the concept I'm talking about. The fact is, we're not going to be, for a whole lot of demographic reasons, we're not going to be a majority here. Please, and I've been a local candidate, please do not take your money and put it on a candidate who's going to get 20% of the vote, while we might lose Missouri by 1%, while we might lose Georgia to Stacey Abrams by 1%. We do not want a Democratic House and Senate, and God forbid, a Democratic president. We've got to be realistic about that. So I'm sorry, Ruth, and I'm all for your campaign. I'm going to give money, but I'm not going to take it away from doing whatever I can to re-elect President Trump and to try to keep a Republican
Yeah, but the
Senate
GOP
and
money
get
is
back
not
a
gonna go to
Republican
Trump.
House.
By the way, can I just say something about Dennis? I don't know how long everybody knows Dennis, but I've known this guy for a quarter of a century. He's always been like a surrogate big brother to me. In fact, he He rescued me from a life of non-making money, of non-profitable activism. I ran a non-profit that literally had no money, but we did good things. And then Dennis rescued me and hired me to be the public affairs director of his larger group, the Center for the Community Interest, which we did for a number of years, and we did some very good things. And then I hadn't seen him for a long time. I'm happy to see him again. This is a good man.
Thank you.
I'd just like to say something that's happened over the last 4 years. Donald Trump was running. I gave a lot of money to help him win. He got in, okay? Since then, everything that he promised, he's basically gotten. But now I've been getting calls, at least 3 or 4 calls a week from the RNC, Republican National Committee, all those people. I tell them on the phone, you want another dime from me, Hillary better be put in jail.
That's right.
In our area, no more national stuff, because until they act and like Congress we're paying
I know
themselves,
exactly what
they're
you
looking
meant.
for a raise and everything now. Look what's happened, they're not doing nothing. Stonewalling for 2 years, and they've been getting paid, and they don't give a shit about nobody, okay? Just going after the president. So everybody's gotta wake up.
Quick question. Who here wastes time on Twitter? And I don't mean to waste. I've actually found out Twitter is not a waste of time. It's a very effective political tool. Please go on there, hashtag Ilhan Must Go. Repeat that hashtag as much as you can.
You follow
That
me.
is helping to start, it is helping to get us momentum, and believe me, it helps.
Okay, is that it?
Thank you.
Okay, everybody, I think I kind of understood what Ruth said a little bit, and that was, what she was trying to do was explain that we here locally need the dollars. Okay, she's not saying don't donate altogether to the RNC. She understands, as now going to be a candidate, what it means to run a campaign. You run a campaign, you need money. And I came in with my heels burning to that finish line. Okay, because to collect money is a very difficult